me know if you need anything. Okay, let's go over the activities for the day. So today is a little bit of a different day for this course. So typically, I go through and I do some lessons with you together. What is this? Day 10. Wrong course. Not this course. Anyway, typically I do a lesson with you together. Then I kind of send you off to do some activities, some questions. And then you come back. We do something together. Then I send you off back again. But today, I have everything pre-recorded. So I've pre-recorded the lessons. And that is in the hope that I will be able to connect one-on-one with everybody that owes me something. And it's a lot of people. So I needed to arrange some time for that to occur because I'm trying to get my marks in for you guys. We have midterm reports coming up next week, which is crazy. So I have to contact everybody, everybody's parents, to let them know how you're doing in the course. And I would say about 70% of people in this course owe me one or more major assignments. So this is a huge problem because I don't have a mark then for you, that's a lot of people in that boat. So I am going to try and connect with everybody today that owes me something, at the very least by email. If you're not checking your email regularly,
please call 5512.
If you're not checking your email regularly, that's a problem. Okay, so you're going to need to get on top of that. Definitely have some kind of alert system set up for your school emails because that's like my primary way to contact you. So the same thing for you guys at home. If you do email me, I'm really good with email generally. So the chat is your first way to contact me during the day. I'm like right on top of this thing, but email's good. I'm usually back to you same day, depending on whether I have a bunch of stuff to do after school, but I'm usually pretty good with email. So contact through email. And definitely, this goes for you guys too, use the virtual classroom. I know some people have already been using it, which is awesome, but it's a great opportunity. We have just unlimited time to just chat about anything you might be having difficulty with. You don't know how to do a particular thing. You want some help. You want me to look over something that you're going to submit. That's a great time for that. So that time is totally reserved for you for help. Okay, so use that at home too if you need it. Okay, let me go to my other course here so I can actually. How do I do that? This thing? I haven't switched between courses a lot on here. This looks right. 3C. Okay. So one thing I want to point out on here, if you go to the assignments tab across the top and click on it, that'll show, by the way, I have more on here than you do because there's some assignments on here I haven't assigned to you yet. I've just prepared them in advance, so your list will look different than mine, obviously. But have a look in there and just see if there's anything that's currently posted that you haven't finished. The only thing on there that should be there that you haven't done is the genetics vocabulary list, which I just posted yesterday. That's for this unit that we're just about to start. But everything else on there, you should be done. It should be submitted. So you'll notice that I have a little bit less than half the class done most of these assignments. That's a problem, okay? A huge problem. Thank you if you are done. That's fantastic. Again, I'm trying to get marks back to you, but my primary concern here is that a lot of people are not completing these things, which is, consider that you guys are about a quarter of the way into this course. I know that seems ridiculous. But you are about 25% of the way through the course already. This would be over a month of regular school. So if you haven't handed in nothing at this point, it means that essentially you've done nothing for a month, as far as I can tell, okay? That's a big problem. That's a really big problem. Maybe you've already done some of these things and you just have to hit the submit button or attach and submit. Cool. If you're in that boat, no problem. But please make sure that you actually do that because as far as I can tell, just from viewing this, you haven't done anything yet, which is a big problem. By the end of this 2-week period, we will be over halfway done the course. Okay, we'll be about 70% done the course in the next 2 weeks. So if you're a person in this boat right now that has nothing completed, nothing turned in, and you continue that for the next 2 weeks, I would say that your chances of getting this credit are pretty much zero. Okay, that means you've missed 3 months of school. All right, don't get yourself into that position. Okay, that's like a no turning back scenario where you're this is a wash at this point. We can't get you back on track here. There's way too much stuff to do. Awesome, I'm glad to hear that, Jaden. Just submit it then. So I have a feeling a number of people have just forgot to turn them in, like just forgot to just press the button, like you've done it, but you haven't pressed the button. Cool, like if that's you, that's awesome, like just do that. But please do that, because I can't see your assignments until they're submitted. Like I have nothing from you until you press the submit button. So please just get on top of that stuff. I'm really getting nervous about this, because next week when I do reports, for at least half of this class, I'm going to be saying, I don't have anything to give you a mark to your parents. I'm sure you don't want to have that conversation. So like that's not a good conversation to have. So please, if you could just get this stuff in. It's not like there isn't going to be more to do. So that being said, you guys were supposed to create a vocabulary list for the past unit. Okay, that would be the, where is it on here? Cellular biology vocabulary list. You should have at least 15 words from the cellular biology unit with definitions in your own words. Hopefully you've submitted that. 12 people have. Okay, that's not great. That's half the class. Okay, but I'd like to get that from the other half. But we're going to start a new vocabulary list today, and that is for the genetics unit. Okay, so it's the genetics vocabulary list. You're going to create a document just like you did for the last unit, or hopefully like you did for the last unit, with 2 columns. One column is going to have words from this unit, and the other column is going to have definitions in your own words. Okay, you need at least 15. It's going to be exactly the same. And the idea is that you add to that as you go. Or if you don't add to it as you go, during learning block 3 every day, that's when you're going to add it. So in learning block 3, you go through and just be like, okay, I've never heard of this word, never seen this before. Just add that to your vocabulary. You get 15 in no time. Okay, there's easily 15 words in this unit that you've never seen before, almost guaranteed. Okay, so that is one of the major assignments for this unit that we're going to start today. The other major assignments we'll probably be getting into Monday, maybe tomorrow, but probably Monday. Keep in mind that every unit is 4 days. So that's how it works. So like, because every 4 days is essentially 20-ish days of content from the previous way we did things. So a 20-day unit, that's pretty standard. So it's almost a month of content in 4 days. Please don't start falling behind, guys. I'm really starting to get concerned about some people. So we got to get on top of this now before things start getting really hairy. Anyway, so that vocabulary list is available if you're looking for it. If you look in the content tab here under the genetics unit, it's the very first thing that's posted. Okay, so there it is, genetics vocabulary list. That's a unit assignment that kind of spans the entire unit. So today we're on day 5. If you hit the day 5 button, you'll notice that right under day 5 is the notes for day 5. Day 5, cell cycle, mitosis, and cancer. Those are the 3 topics that we're going to cover today. That is the note, the student note right there that you're going to need. Okay, so you're going to want to make a copy of that just like we did in the first block when we were together. You make a copy of that, and then you're going to open it in Cami. Okay, and you're just going to add your annotations to that. If you'd really like to, you can print this at home and bring it in a paper copy. Some people like to write on it, but you absolutely don't have to, okay? Like if you're comfortable using Cami, I recommend it. I find it easier to type than to write, but it's up to you, okay? So anyway, that's there. You're going to need that for today. So that's the note that you're going to need to import into Cami under day 5. As I mentioned a minute ago, today is sort of like a go your own pace day. All of the lessons are pre-recorded to give me an opportunity to get in contact with people that I need to talk to about their progress in the course. So I will say I'll talk to everybody. So I'll talk to you if you're done everything as well and just be like, good job, you're done. You're caught up anyway. But if you're not caught up, I will chat with you, okay? Oh,
I will bring you another one.
That's awesome, thank you very much. I just wanted to mention that that does not belong to Lily, my Lily, that was in here.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't believe is here, but thanks. So anyway, this goes through step by step what you need to do today. I'll go through real quickly with everybody right now, but if you're going through this and you're like, I don't know what this means, I don't know what this is asking for, just say something, okay? I'm happy to go over any part of this with you today. So the first part here, as always, is just this, the live stream. We always start with this. So I'll start and I'll at least go over what we're going to do for the day. Usually I will do the lessons with you, okay? Or at least the majority of them. Some of them are pre-recorded, but for the most part, I'll do them with you. Today I've done them all pre-recorded just to give me a chance to talk with all of you, but that's not typical. So what we're going to do today is mostly review. And I say mostly and also hopefully review because I don't know what you did in grade 10. A lot of you may have taken grade 10 last semester. And if you took grade 10 science last semester, I don't know what you did. So you may have done the stuff in the curriculum, or you may have done something close to, or like, did you have science last semester?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what I did.
Can I just ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Did you cover mitosis?
Yes.
You did. Okay, so that's really the key thing that you need for this course. If you covered mitosis, great. Then today's content is going to be a review and it will be super easy for you. You'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen every single piece of this before. Great. That's fine. That just means that today's content will be really easy. Try not to fall asleep, okay? But I do have to do a review because understanding mitosis is really important for what we're going to cover tomorrow. So if you don't like have that as a baseline and really know the process of mitosis well, this is going to be really tough. So I had to do it over again. A number of students have told me that they didn't cover it last year, or they just glossed kind of over it a little bit, which is not enough detail. So you need to know the process fairly well for what we're about to do. So anyway, as I mentioned, sorry guys.
Today, teachers were going to ask you to review the bomb threat fire drill procedure with your classes. This is for cohort A. We'll practice this later for the other cohort. Today we're doing a one-time sounding of the alarm so that everybody is aware of what the alarm sounds like. We're going to do that at approximately 10 a.m. You don't have to evacuate the school at that time. It'll only be for about 30 seconds so people are familiar with the sound of the alarm. But what we do need you to do is practice sometime throughout the morning as a class when others aren't in the hall.
We'll do it on our walk.
You need to wear masks, be socially distanced, and teachers, please remember to bring your check cards outside with you so you don't get locked out. Again, 10 a.m. we're going to do the approximate sounding of the alarm. So please, you don't need to evacuate, you just need to practice. So if teachers can practice or review the bomb threat fire drill procedure now with your classes, when 10 o'clock runs around, you know it's just the bell to hear the sound. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so really quick, let me review the procedure. A bomb threat fire drill is a little bit different. If there's a bomb threat, they tell you there's a bomb threat, and you take your bags with you, okay? That's the only difference between a regular fire drill and a bomb drill, is you take your bags with you. And the whole point of that is someone is going to have to search the school for a bomb, and if it's full of bags, they have to search everybody's bag. So you take your bag with you in order to prevent that, okay? So then if there is a bag left over in the school, it's a suspicious bag, all right? If you see a suspicious bag, in other words, there's a bag in the hall that shouldn't be there, tell somebody about that. And then I pass that on to the office. That's the whole point of the bomb drill, okay? Is that we try and figure out where it is located. That's the purpose of it. So that is the only difference between that and a fire drill. So you take your bags and we go out this door to the far parking lot down there to the back of the parking lot. And that's it. Okay, just like a regular fire drill, but you bring your bags with you. Questions?
What was the point of a bomb threat to the school?
What's that, sir?
Like, what's the point of a bomb threat to the school?
What's the point of a bomb threat?
Yeah.
To scare people? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that. That's like saying, like, what's the point of a school shooting? I don't know. Hurt people, I suppose.
But like, if the point is to hurt people, wouldn't it be better to like plant the bomb in the parking lot where all the cars are and set it off there when everyone's outside, so it would cause a massive explosion and kill more people?
That's a little bit disturbing, but yeah, I'm not really sure that these things are, a lot of planning is going into these things, but
What a shock.
Yeah, this is not Rainbow Six Siege.
I don't know what that is.
anyway, I'm gonna keep going here. That's the basic idea. So as I mentioned here, this all goes step by step if you're working on your own. Okay, it's like do 1, then do 2, then do 3, and it's broken into learning blocks. So ideally, the stuff in learning block 1 would get completed before the break, and the stuff in learning block 2 is going to be completed after the break, ideally. Okay? If you're off pace a little bit, it's not a huge deal. Bearing in mind that learning block 3 for you guys, I've pretty much reserved as a spillover time. That is, if you don't finish stuff during learning block 1 and 2, learning block 3 is your time to complete the stuff from 1 and 2. So it's not a huge deal if you're going over time here. But I try and break it down roughly into 2 blocks worth of stuff to do. I may have been a touch ambitious today in terms of how much stuff I've put in there. We'll reevaluate that towards the end of the day in terms of like where people are at. This is how much content I would cover in my 3U biology class, for sure. Everybody works at different paces, so like we'll see. If like this is not a great pace for us, then we'll try and like roll this back a touch, okay? And maybe we'll move some stuff to the next day. I don't have a great feel for like our pacing yet, so give me a chance and we'll kind of figure that out together. But this is what we're gonna take a shot at, okay? Everything from today is review, which is one of the reasons I went a little bit faster. So, or at least it should be review from last year, but again, depending on what you actually covered in grade 10. So, going back. You get the notes package, you follow along with this lesson, okay? This lesson is talking about the cell cycle or like how cells reproduce, okay? Not necessarily mitosis specifically, but just what are the different stages of a cell's life, okay? And why the cells would go through the cell cycle. Then we're gonna start getting into mitosis, which again, hopefully you covered last year. This is a 3-ish minute video summary of mitosis with great animations. I highly recommend it. It will jog your memory on what mitosis looks like, okay? Once you're done that, there is a little explore learning activity where there's like an animation that you click through and it shows you the process of mitosis. Again, this is probably review for everybody. So as you go through, you'll be like, okay, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. I get it. We've done this. Okay, that's fine. Just go through and do the worksheet. The worksheet you will be done in no time then, because you're just going to show me that, okay? That you are familiar with mitosis from last year. Then there's a little exit quiz at the end, okay, which is going to ask you some questions about your knowledge of mitosis from the stuff that you just covered. And hopefully you're good with that. 5 out of 5, yep, I get this, I remember this, this is what this part does, this is what happens in this phase. Cool. You're good with mitosis, move on. If not, if you do that exit quiz and it's like 0 out of 5, go back, look over your notes, talk to me, okay? If you're unfamiliar, you're not 100% sure about why something was right or wrong on the quiz, that's an opportunity for you to talk to me. So then let's go over that. Okay, I'm here for a reason, like let's discuss, all right? So, that's the first part, sort of a general review of the cell cycle and mitosis. And then the second part here, I'm gonna go through the mitotic process in detail. So up until this point, this is just general, okay? You've gone through the process of mitosis. Now I'm going to go through the process of mitosis with you in a note, and I'm gonna go through the details of each step. You do need to know what happens in each step. So in interphase, this happens. In prophase, this happens. Okay, you need to know that. So as you're going through here, that's why I'm going through it so many times. You really do have to know these phases, because tomorrow we're going to cover meiosis, which is we knew for you, but meiosis looks a lot like mitosis. It's very similar. So if you don't know anything about mitosis and you try and learn meiosis, it is nonsense. Okay, it makes no sense at all unless you already previously understand how mitosis works, and you have to have a fairly good working knowledge of it. So I go through it again here, step by step. You go through in the note with me, okay? This one's a little bit longer because the second part of this one, I'm going to discuss what can potentially happen when mitosis goes wrong. So when you have errors in your DNA and then the process, there are mistakes in the process and you end up with cancer, okay? So the second half of this is a brief discussion of mechanics of cancer, what exactly is happening in cancer and how does that affect mitosis. Okay, and some things that cause damage to the DNA. I talk about carcinogens a little bit in that. Once you're through that one, okay, that's in learning block 2. You're gonna do a quick little exit quiz at the end. Again, it's 5 questions. If it makes sense, 5 out of 5, you're good to go. Then you're probably fine with this content. Again, if it's not 5 out of 5 and like you're like, I don't understand why this is wrong, I don't remember this, let's chat, okay? Maybe look back over your notes and like let's discuss, all right? So that's it. There's like 2 lesson components here, and there is a little lab that you're going to do online. It seems like a lot, but we do have just shy of 5 hours, okay? Which is quite a bit of time. Keep in mind this is a week's worth of content because it's a week's worth of time. So it feels weird to compress it into a single day. I agree, and that is a little bit stressful. But I also have to do 5 hours of content because otherwise we just simply won't finish the course. So I do have to like put it in there. So we'll take a shot at it, okay? We'll see how this goes. If people are really getting held up in the second video or something like that, and we're not getting quite done, then we'll modify our expectations. But let's shoot for this. The last part here in learning block 3, there's no new content here, but you should consider adding stuff to your vocabulary list for genetics and complete anything else that you didn't finish during the day. You can join me in the virtual classroom. There's a link for it at the bottom if you need to talk to me, you have questions or whatever for what you're working on. If you are learning some, you're using some like assistance tools, for example, like you want to use speech to text or whatever, please feel free to use those tools, okay? Like let's say that you're doing the Explore Learning activity and you want to use speech to text. You want to talk and have it record. Do that, okay? No one is saying that you have to type it in by hand. Same thing for any of the readings in here. This is hard to communicate to you guys when you're at home. But if you're doing any of the readings and you want to have it be read to you, okay? I have a number of Chrome extensions that will just read a PDF to you, okay? You can do that, absolutely. No one says that you have to read it. You can have someone just say it to you. I listen to audiobooks all the time. They're amazing. So, and they really work for me. I'm good at listening, not as good at reading, and I prefer audiobooks, but like totally up to you, okay? So if you want those tools, if there's, just let me know and I'll get them for you, okay? We'll figure that out. Okay, so that's what we're shooting for today. If you have stuff missing, an assignment that's missing, please submit that to me, okay? You're not in a good way right now. I'm gonna contact you, we'll chat today, but I really do have to get that stuff from you or we're gonna get ourselves into trouble. So I'll give you the time now. For those of you at home, I'm gonna throw up the little screen, but I would leave this chat open, like I said, all day. So type questions in there anytime. If you're arriving later, you just got here, make sure you type here in the chat so that I can take your attendance at home. And let me know if you need anything. Good luck. So it's all the content that we're working on here is the day 5 content on Brightspace.